Alright, so next is going to be the camshaft. We got a C35 scat for this. So, that's the part number. Or you can just ask for a C35 scat. Pretty sure MP, a couple different companies got cams that are similar. Angle would be like a 110. I prefer the C35 over the 110. It's got a little better load profile and it seems to be a little quieter on the bow train. And it's got a little bit of a lope to it if you like that. If you don't like the lopey, go with the angled grind. They're less lopey out of idle. So the cam will come with bolts. We're going to go ahead and use those bolts. And the cam won't come with bolts. The gear comes with the bolts. Here's the number for the gear. This is a standard. You can get them in plus or minus depending on what you want for thrust on the cam. Standard's usually a really good place to start, so that's what we got. So, one, we got the bolts here, we have the cam here, and there's no gear on this cam. Most times you see a Volkswagen, the gear is riveted. On performance cams, they'll be bolted on. And you want to take your gear and find your dot. There's your dot. Your dot goes up and the lobe, first lobe should be pointing down when you install the gear. So this should be the arrangement. Your dot should be at the top and your lobe should be pointing down. And if you do that, you'll have really good results. If you don't do that, bad things can happen and probably won't even start, and you might bend some valves and stuff. I like to incorporate some Loctite here. You see this Loctite, if I can get it out of there. It's frozen. I think it's got to be in the 50s here today. It's cold. So I want to incorporate a little bit of Loctite on each bolt. Don't get too carried away. We talked about Loctite. It can get hard and brittle and get in your bearings if it comes off your bolt. You don't want to drop the bolt on the floor like that either. Go. There we go. Get the miss end in down here. Alrighty. Didn't go too far. It should start by hand. There's this one that feels sort of funny. The other thing you can do is tap the holes out before you put the bolts in. Normally you shouldn't have to do that, but that bolt hole felt like it might have had a little bit of a burr in it, which a tap would have cleaned out, you know. So I guess you should check the threads. You don't usually expect to have an issue with a new part, but you never know nowadays. We're going to tighten these down to 18 foot-pounds. You don't want to go any more or any less. You really want to torque these because if the cam gear breaks off, it can really cause havoc. And of course, you got to take the whole motor apart and fix it. So this is something you want to get right. Usually, as a rule of thumb, if you look in the without guesswork book that Volkswagen has, most 8mm fasters are torqued to 18 foot-pounds. So there we go. I like to double check them, so you know, click them twice. even if it hurts your hand really bad, a vise would be good. Use a rag if you're going to clamp the gear in the vise. Set that back to 0 so it works next time. So there we go. Have our dot at the top. Our lobe is pointing down, and we have our new cam on our new gear. And we have our gear marks in our hands from holding the cam like a vise. So we'll put the piston cylinders together next, and just keep trucking on this.